I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing the mics just like I ran the jewels in. Y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker to do what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish what I started, I'm about that.
Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it, want a man I can bring the drama. But it ain't by chance, I'm fucking rapping, you don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping like I'm starving. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna ask who the man is, hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
What is up, everybody? DJ Yoakley with a few of my friends. We got a packed house today, boys, and it's the return of the YSN Power Hour. We had yesterday off, so happy belated Labor Day to everybody. And we look to start, as we always do, with the National Whatever Day it is. And today, it is National Ampersand Day. And I wish that Betos was here because I would love to ask him what he thinks an ampersand is and hear the rebuttal. Anybody want to take a stab in the dark of what an ampersand is? Ampersand?
I got zero clues.
Anybody else?
Isn't it the
And sign.
The and sign, yeah.
The and sign, yeah. So let me see if I can change this out real quick and edit this and show you what the ampersand is. On the keyboard, there it is, right there. And save and show. So it's that thing. So it's National Ampersand Day. So the question for you guys is, what is your favorite use of ampersand that you can remember? It can be a teammate. It can be two teammates, you know, Tom Brady and Randy Moss. My personal favorite is peanut butter and jelly. So, Billy Mack, what's yours?
Huh? Peanut butter and jelly?
You son of a... Quinn, you got one?
I don't, actually. I mean, it's just, I use it a lot, but I don't have a favorite.
Tristan, you understand what it is now?
Yeah, so I guess you went peanut butter and jelly. I'd have to go, if I'm going to go food-wise, I'm going chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice, man. Jamie
Oh,
Thompson.
I got one.
We'll go with Dak and Zeke.
Ah, okay. Now we're on to some sports. EB.
Peanut butter and jelly.
To the birthday boy we go. Let's give him full screen because that's the only way we can fit his head in there. Paul Munson.
Well, how fitting would it be? Ice cream and cake.
Yep.
Or Jack and Coke.
Ty, what do you got?
Go on the sports route. I'll say Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, or Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich, either of those two.
All right, making his triumphant return, it's Anthony Malone. What do you got?
So I'm gonna pick. I'll pick both the food and sports. I think. I mean, when I was a kid, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan were always the and when I was younger. So that's a very popular one. If I had to go food, I think we would go chocolate and peanut butter.
Ooh, chocolate and peanut butter.
Ice cream, porter, whatever is your chosen use of it's usually pretty good.
Has anybody tried Nutella and peanut butter? Like, I think that's too much. But somebody's told me that that's pretty good. So
I think that's a pancake style.
I think so too. It came from my wife, so naturally, I have to say it's a good decision, or else I think I'll end up single again. Guys, it's been a minute since we talked. 3 days to be exact, and a lot has happened in those 3 days. we had some great games last week. We had some teams that were very impressive in week 2. From your perspective, what was the best game last week and why? And I got to start with my dude with I think one of the best games, and Jamie Thompson. Jamie, what was the best game you saw last week?
Definitely hard to not pick Hubbard and Jefferson. I mean, it came down to literally the last play of the game. I haven't had a close game against Jefferson for maybe 5 years, something like that. It was just back and forth all game long, both teams giving it their all. And I was really surprised by Jefferson's effort, if I'm going to be honest with you. Me and Roma, we both went up there expecting just annihilation because we haven't seen anything else. But Jefferson,
You said 40 points.
What's that, Billy?
You said 40. I remember.
It should have been. It should have been.
With the Hubbard thing.
Hey, had 3 linemen go down. So
40!
You have to run the ball when you don't have any linemen.
What was it about Jefferson that impressed you so much down the stretch, Jamie, that you didn't think you'd see?
It's definitely the youth of Jefferson that kind of, just fought all the way through. Like, I did not expect Hitchcock to play as well as he did, or Trenton either at the wide receiver spot. They really just fought all the way around. And then their defensive line, they beat up on our O-line all game long. I never saw that coming with the film that I saw against Niles.
Do you think that it was the Eagles taking their foot off the pedal, or do you think it was Jefferson hammered down that made the difference in this one, making it a close game?
Probably 50-50, I'd say. I mean, being a Hubbard guy, when you go to Jefferson, it always sucks going up there, but you expect to just kind of breeze through it. And Jefferson really played the game of their life. Everything went practically perfect for them, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get it done.
So when you look at this week's matchup, whoever plays Jefferson, Paul, you can help me out if you have your notebook handy dandy, like the dude from Blue's Clues. If you look at Jefferson, do you think that Jefferson's now a team that people watch a little bit closer?
I think you definitely have to. I mean, they put up a good effort against a really good team, so you can't look over them like you usually would.
Anthony Malone, we're on to you. You had the chance to look at the Poland Bulldogs again. Interesting game. What were your takeaways from the Big Blue this time?
They just played better sound offense all the way around. They were running the ball better, passing the ball better. They're out of the rain and out of the water, so they were able to hang on to turnovers and didn't have a lot of those problems again. Just a great balanced attack. Even from seeing Niles, I just saw the way they fought the whole time. That's just that. I mean, it was great on there. And then unfortunately, they did have an injury with Leonard being hurt. I hope he's okay this week. But he was. He was scrambling around that defense that was really putting pressure on him. But he was looking so masterful until he got hurt. From watching the Bulldogs, just impressed with how sound they were on offense, and they're pulling it together on defense. We talked at the pregame about missed tackles and things that could be detrimental to their defense, and that wasn't the case this time. So they had a lot of stops. So I think Poland's really rebounding after that week 1 loss.
Mac, you had a chance to see a lot of games on Friday, and you actually called a game on Saturday. What was the best game that you were able to kind of point your finger to?
I don't know. I take full advantage of audible call as much as I can. It's hard. I didn't get the chance to be there like I was week 1, so it was a little hard. I was just, when calling the Kennedy game, I was just impressed with how sound they were defensively. The Kennedy Eagles. I mean, that's a good team. I mean, the hype is well deserved. They're a solid team on both sides of the ball.
Respect there. That's one of my teams to watch in the next segment. Quinn, you had a chance to watch Audible Call. You had a chance to be a part of Audible Call. What did you see? What impressed you the most about week 2?
Fitch, honestly. I was unsure, kind of skeptical about Fitch and Ursula both, and Fitch just kind of dominated it.
All right, Paulie, you're looking at your fingernails. What were you looking at Friday night?
Well, I had the Struthers game, Struthers and Lakeview, but the game I was keeping an eye on just because, I'm a homer, was the South Range game, and that was a dogfight. I mean, there was a lot of points scored, but Girard didn't go away quietly, and they made that a game for a little bit, and then even after some injuries from South Range, they still kept fighting. Girard did to stay in that game, so that was a high-scoring game. I think it was 56-28. So that was a big scoring game there that I wanted to see how they were going to do against another big NE8 foe.
and we're taking some comments right now. Yes, Robert Swidka saying I hear typing, and someone else saying Chuck saying that he hears lots of background noise. Yeah, we hear it too, and I think a lot of that had to do with Tristan. He was on the move, so we apologize to that. We apologize to Tristan. Obviously, you got to make sure that you can hear us, or else otherwise, why are we doing it? But Ty, you had an interesting game out in your backyard. What did you see, and did anybody impress you in that game?
Well, we went both Scott Knox and I. We called Southeast and Champion, and that was out at Ravenna High School, and that was a fun game. I think the thing that impressed me most was Southeast defense and Spencer Mazzaros to pinpoint it. Talking about a guy that had, I can't even tell you how many tackles for loss he had. He had a sack, he had a blocked kick. I mean, all over the place on defense that night, and the defense of Southeast was just stellar. And I was not expecting them to hold Champion to the amount of points that they did. I mean, they really just shut Champion down that night. And then, I mean, like what Paul said, as far as like being a homer, though, I mean, I was keeping my eye on that Fitch game, and I thought Fitch was going to beat Ursuline. I didn't think they were going to beat him that bad, and I think that that shows how dynamic that offense really is.
Yeah, I got to stand impressed with Mineral Ridge. I had the Sebring game, and Sebring, I just felt really good about their chances going into that. And they stripped the ball on the 1 yard line, and the play after that was a safety for Mineral Ridge. The ensuing kickoff was a kickoff return, and then there was a safety, and then another kickoff return. It was like deja vu all over again. And Mineral Ridge, they've got so many talented kids, but it's one of those things where you're in the same conference as Springfield and McDonald and Western Reserve. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ridge can fight through all of the adversity that they've even been through in 2 weeks. They kind of took their frustrations out on the Trojans in a big-time win. Unfortunately, and I think I let Billy and Paul know this, the 3 games that I've been involved in have all been mercy clock games in the first 2 weeks. So we got Richie Rain Delay and DJ Mercy Clock on the books here at YSN. So if you get me, there's a 50% chance that your team is going to have a good game. So
well, we know where you're going this week. So yeah,
Paul, let's not let that out of the bag yet, because there's a lot of teams that are probably saying keep that dude away from here, and fans as well. So a lot of good stuff on Friday into Saturday. Had a chance to call with Billy Mack the Kennedy game, and Kennedy showed up in a big way. Started slow, but hammered down in the right lane, and my goodness, their defense is outstanding. They're just so good. And to watch Cameron Hollabaugh and everybody key on Jesse Likens in the backfield, so Hollabaugh had a big night. It was fun to watch. So if you have a chance to watch Kennedy this year, whether it through YSN or somehow get a ticket to the game, make sure you do it, because that's going to be a fun team to watch. And you guys already alluded to it. I think the best team, the most impressive team from last year to this year is Austintown Fitch. I mean, how good are they with all the things that they had to overcome in the last 2 years? Fitch is a team to watch, and you got to believe outside of, I hate to say, Springfield is Springfield, right? Like, I feel like we don't ever give them nearly enough credit because of who they are and what the expectations are. But my goodness, Springfield, I had it in my book, 76 points or something through 2 weeks. Come on. They're just business as usual, punch the clock, grab your lunch pail, and let's go to work. So good luck to McDonald this week, because Ron Patessa seems to think there's going to be a challenge. I can imagine that McDonald will start off strong, but how can anybody stand 4 quarters with the Tigers? That's the question to be had. Let's look at EB. I didn't forget about you. Who had the most impressive performance in week 2? Let's start with you, sir.
You're going to ask me, seeing as I got to see 0, I'm going to go Cheyenne Sellers with the Smack Lady Ballers. She had a last second 3 against the KC Running Angels, which was a great game. Just so you know, the KC Lady Angels, I believe they had a Syracuse commit, top 5 recruit who has not committed yet. Obviously, Cheyenne Sellers jumped up from the number 44 girl to, I think, the top 20. She had an all-around impressive tournament. And then, outside of that, I honestly got to watch like 20 minutes of one game, man.
You're fine.
The only thing that I saw was East Palestine's quarterback run around back and forth like it was backyard football, praying for someone to throw to. So, and then Columbiana just killed the clock. it was, by the time I got logged on, it was 34-0, and I was like, oh boy, here we go again. So fortunately it wasn't 85-0, but then again, talking to a couple of coaches, I was like, dude, in the past 2 years, Columbia has outscored East Palestine 119-0. So
what was that? I didn't. You broke up. What'd you say?
In the past 2 years, Columbia has outscored East Palestine 119-0. So if you're going to go the DJ Yokley way, start doing those 119 push-ups, and maybe it'll lead to some success.
And by next year, they'll be huge.
Can all the Columbiana kids can you guys just stop smiling for a minute? Like, just like eat those teeth a little bit. What the hell? Are you on the Columbiana bandwagon now, Mac? Like, how many teams do you have, Captain Loyalty?
Who's winning at the moment?
There it is. There it is. The loyalty loser himself, Billy Mack. We'll have the legendary Jeff Bezos.
DJ, I do have my football helmet that I can bring in that you can put up on Audible Call.
Bring it on. Listen, it's deserved. I am a Columbiana fan. They are a very, very good YSN partner school. So if you want to put them on the desk for Friday, it's well deserved. So we'll leave that out there for you. So there's a lot of people that will have some tears here in Bulldog country, but I am not among them. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Coach Spate, and I respect all that he does, and I even respect what happened last year and how he stuck up for his guys. So I'll leave it there. Let's go to Billy Mack, your most impressive performance of last week. You didn't have to cover them, but who do you think really put themselves on the map?
Well, I'm going to go to Kennedy again. I'm going to say Kennedy only gave up 3 first downs going into the fourth quarter. They gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown, which was their only really points they got in the whole game. They were just so impressive staying home. There was no holes anywhere for St. Thomas Aquinas Knights.
Shut up.
For them to even go anywhere. It was just that was the most intriguing thing for me was how good are they? Yeah, can they score points? That we knew they could score points. Can they stop anybody? And to me, I think they can match up defensively against any team that they're going to come across. And
a guy makes one Freudian slip and says it's the St. Thomas Saints, and all of a sudden I'm getting crucified on social media. But yes, the Knights, they had a good start to the game. We're leading 7-3 at one point, and JFK just, again, hammer down left lane and just breezed by. Let's go to Quinn. I mean, was there any one team that impressed you more than any of the rest in week 2?
I mean, you can't say it enough, Fitch, but I'll go with Brutus Ogilvy and Keaton Baker. They showed down against Lisbon, so good for them. Good job.
And that's the Birds of a Feather profile. We have it on YSN. You can hear it straight from them. Birthday boy, who do you have that really stood out amongst the rest?
I guess the dominance that Field's been having. I know some people probably think that's a surprise for me to say because I'm a Raider, but I mean, listen, they've been rolling. I mean, and putting up big numbers week after week. So, I mean, they're impressive. So,
Are you contractually obligated to say it inside those 4 walls?
Yes.
Yeah, the door's shut. So go ahead. You can hear me outside there. So I mean, hey, you got to give credit where credit's due. And I mean, I'm a good friend with Sean, and I mean he runs a great program over there. And I've known Mark for years too. Played softball with those guys. I mean, they know what they're doing over there, and they got the athletes to do it. And hey, let them keep rolling. So.
Jamie, what do you think the most impressive team in week 2? And I'm really interested to hear your answer.
I'm going to have to go Hart Canfield, back-to-back 20-point wins to start off the season. So Canfield's looking really good. They're the only other undefeated local team in Division III. But honestly, I got to go with Jefferson too. I mean, all their young guys, their young talent, they could be a real problem for the next couple of years. If those guys continue to work at it and just keep getting better, Jefferson's going to be one of the top teams in the league, and I never saw myself saying that.
Wow. And you know what? Hats off to you for being able to see that and to admit that. I thought we were going to have a Betos sighting whenever you were just going to go back to Hubbard and homer it out because everybody doesn't, not everybody, I don't know if you know this, James, not everybody likes your announcing, you and Roma.
Hey, you know what? We hear it on the weekly. You know what? Is what it is. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it because we're just
Don't
out
say
here.
that. That starts bad things. Don't say that.
We can appreciate you. We have your back. We love what you do, and we love the way you do it. EB, we already had you. Ty, most impressive team from week 2, maybe not even the game that you were at?
You know, like I said too, I mean, I was keeping an eye on Fitch, obviously, but I think Boardman, the way they rebounded was a huge rebound compared to what they did against Fitch. Another game I was really watching was the Big Red Steubenville out at Dover. Watching them, they got that big win, 28-7, and that's a game I'm really looking forward to see that Big Red and Falcons match up the end of the year. But yeah, I would say definitely Fitch and Boardman. I think were two impressive performances, and I think Boardman really proved that they can be a good team after their loss to Fitch.
Dean saying, is anybody else's feed frozen? No, we're all good. So sorry, Dean, about your problems. I know you were having some problems on Friday night as well. Starting to think it's not us. Let's. Oh, hey, Mama Yoakley saying I was impressed with the YSN team. Thank you very much.
Talk about a homer.
Yeah, you want to talk about a homer? She gave birth to Homer Simpson right here. Let's go to Anthony Malone. Anthony, the team that stood out to you most in week 2 was.
I mean, I gotta agree with Thompson. It's got to be Jefferson the way that they played. I mean, they played a sound game. They didn't come away with a victory, but they built on something, and I think that's really going to make them an impressive team in the NE8 going forward. I mean, I'm excited to see what next week brings for them, building on that momentum of maybe seeing things click better than they had in other weeks. So I think that's probably the most impressive, at least turnaround, if you will. I know we don't talk about Springfield like as much as we can because it's just, dominance, but to see it such on a regular basis is impressive in and of itself. And I think that's something that needs to be mentioned. They definitely are the most impressive throughout the 2 weeks, and I'm excited to see what the rest of their season brings.
Yeah, I'm with you. And one team that we don't probably talk nearly enough, and we did a lot after first week, the Crestview Rebels. Losing the champion in week 1 and then bouncing back on their brand new turf and scoring 59 points and giving up none. Not only that, guys, 497 yards of offense, and they only gave up 34 to Camel. So when you look at everything that they're doing, it is super impressive to see what Crestview did and the jump that they made from week 1 to week 2. On YSN. So hats off to the Rebels and Paul Cusick and Anthony Cusick, the quarterback, and Ethan Powell, the running back, and that entire offense and the defensive team. Wow, impressive, and I'm excited for week 3 out in Rebel Country. Paul, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. You just gave us like the people's eyebrow in the
I had an itch.
Yeah. Don't ever freaking do that again, please. Let's from that we will move on to the
some boxes down to Mrs. Yoga. They are in the elementary office. Thank you.
They need you to do something.
Somebody needs some boxes carried. If you guys want to come carry some boxes.
Where's Betos? Call Betos.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's I guess. Which team has the most to prove in week 3? There's a lot of teams that you look at, I mean, across the board, without getting into each individual who's playing who. From your standpoint, guys, the team that has the most to get in week 3 to garner. Now, everybody makes the playoffs. We've been over this 100 times. But what team needs week 3, a dub in week 3, in order to solidify whatever they're trying to do, working towards the playoff hunt? Let's go with Jamie Thompson first.
I'm actually going to go with Ursuline here. I mean, they beat Cheney to start off the year, who's 0-2 right now, and then just got completely pummeled by Austintown Fitch. So I think they need a big win this week against Boardman if they really want to solidify that Ursuline is back.
Wait, time out. What? Who's playing who?
Ursuline plays Boardman, don't they?
Yes.
Yes, they do. Yep. Sorry, I heard Fitch, and then I got confused with Cheney. My apologies. He's gone.
Yeah.
There he is.
I draw my pen. It's all broken.
There we go. All right, Anthony, to you.
I mean, I hate to promote my game that I'm calling, but I do think that this is a big game for Girard. They need to, right the ship and, making the playoffs and having a little momentum throughout the rest of the season. So I'm going to take Girard for sure, at least on my end. So.
He's got dog
Oh,
problems.
man, he just got bit.
I think Cujo's
Oh, wow.
out. Somebody's got to check on him. Paul, we'll skip over EB for a minute while he calls the dog warden. On to you. The team with the most to gain in week 3 is?
Wow. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I like that Ursuline call. Jamie had earlier. I think that they do need a big game there. I mean, and then they're going to go into Boardman's house, and Boardman's, they're still not happy about that Fitch game. I mean, even though they were able to bounce back, I don't think they're still kind of reeling from that one a little bit. So I got to think that too, because Ursuline, they need that name back. They need to put their stamp back in the area, because the Catholic schools, I think, they're not that elusive team anymore that everybody looked at and like, oh, they're so great anymore. I think everybody else has gotten better too, and sometimes the athletes aren't leaving their public schools to go there. So
they have to play like 8 divisions higher to get their schedule, so it's a little easier to get W's when you're playing lower schools too.
Yeah.
There is a point there. There is a legitimate point. Is
I mean,
nobody
compare some of these low tiers teams that are beating up on some of these other teams that they're just not very good. And Fitch or Ursuline's playing Boardman and Fitch. First 3 weeks. Who
what
has that?
division is Ursuline?
Division 5.
5. I mean, jumping
Playing
up 3
Division
divisions is yeesh.
I think they're 4 this year.
A little bit.
Yeah,
dangerous.
but that's an animal that they made themselves.
No, you can't say the point where they need to win and they're not who they are anymore, and then go like, oh well, their schedule is harder than anybody else's for the most part.
But they're also the beneficiary in the typical playoff year of if they
Sure,
get a
it
win.
benefits if you win games for sure. If you win games, you have a better chance of making it in.
But
even
sometimes you don't have to win that many games. In a normal 10 game.
Yeah, but what would their record be if they played all Division 5 teams? Let's be fair there. So you can't say that they're bad teams. I mean, they lost to Fitch, who we can arguably say is one of the best teams in the area right now.
Absolutely. But again, I think the Ursuline and the Moonies aren't the Ursuline and the Moonies that they used to be back in the day. Because
second year returning coach, first year coach at Mooney.
Okay.
So it might be a little early to say that they're not who they were.
But they're still not really like who they were. Like, I mean, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, like those teams, they could go play the St. Ignatius. They could go play the big D1, D2 schools and compete with them all day long, because who did they have? They had kids that used to go to Fitch. They had kids that used to go to Boardman, Canfield, Poland. They had all the big kids, because listen, I have my own opinion about the Catholic schools, so maybe I won't get on that horse right now. I'll leave it alone. But when you get to cherry pick from the whole area and pick all the good kids that you want.
So we're talking about open enrollment. So other low-level schools don't have open enrollment?
That's why I said now other schools have it's leveled out a little bit. They're not.
You're all over the place, birthday boy. You're killing me, Sauce. You're all over the place.
No, I said that's why Ursuline has to get a big win, because they're not the team they used to be, because everybody else kind of leveled the playing field for them. They need to win. It's my opinion. That's who I want. We can get on the other topics. We can make those other topics there, because I've got great opinions about. Look at DJ over there, just sitting back, sipping the tea, watching it. Because I have my.
I'm just watching my entire empire burn to the freaking ground. You asshats are having this conversation.
Yeah.
Nothing like 3 years down the tube because one a-hole wants to have the parochial conversation on a random Tuesday. Why not, Paul? Why don't we just burn it down on your birthday? That way we got a nice note we can attach to it. On this
Light the
day
candles,
in 2020, the birthday boy decides to light the candle and burns down an entire empire of a streaming network. Congratulations. My man B Irish 30 saying Ursuline always has a tough schedule. You usually play teams up, not down. And there's something to be said with that. Yeah, DJ needs some popcorn. Yes. And some Pepto Bismol because it's my stomachs are stirring on the inside from that conversation. I saw the road it was heading down, and I'm like, all right, hands off the wheel. Guess what?
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're just gonna step away from that. Who's up, Ty?
Yeah.
Ty, go ahead with the team that has the most improved in week 3. Please don't go back down this road.
Honestly, and I know they're coming into the game Scott and I are calling, but I think it's Cheney. I think Cheney, after losing to Ursuline week 1, a heartbreaker loss to Howland week 2. I think out of the 6 games that Fitch has, this is probably one that they're going to let their guard down because the next 3 are Harding, Benedictine, Steubenville. So you might catch Fitch on an off day where they're looking ahead in their schedule. You might catch them, where they're taking this game kind of lightly. Cheney, I think if they're able to get to the quarterback, if they're able to get to Sherwood, which not many teams have because that Fitch offensive line is super impressive. But if you could catch Fitch on an off game, this would be a huge win for the Cowboys. But I do think it's a big game for the Cowboys because you don't want to go down 0-3 after them. They had a pretty good year last year, 6-4 for their first year back. You hate to see this if you're a Cowboys fan. So, I mean, big game, rivalry renewed in that west side with that Fitch and Cheney this week.
AM, what do you got? Anthony Malone.
I already said it was Gerard.
Oh, sorry, buddy. My bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
Back
but I personally feel that that's going to be a big game for them. Whatever happens, whether they win or lose, will kind of dictate the rest of their NE8 experience.
Jamie, did you go?
Yep.
And,
I started the whole rest one thing.
Okay, EB, do you want to? Is Cujo gone?
Cujo's gone. He's sleeping again. We're good.
Attaboy. All right, who
We're
you got?
good. I had a toss up. I had Crestview, and I know they're 1-1, but I was curious because I felt that they had their opportunities against Champion, and I'd like to see them play. I'd like them to see them play Champion again when it's not a monsoon out. So I think Crestview has a lot to prove it, and I don't think that Campbell team's very good. As far as what Crestview has, and they have a lot of talent, and obviously everyone knows last year they didn't have a senior. So I'm really intrigued, and I want to see what these kids have to prove because they have a ton of talent everywhere, and I really want to see what they can do. And outside of that, the other team that I had was Salem. Salem's sitting 0-2 right now. You drop a big one against your rival in West Branch, and then last week I believe it was Canton South, and so far you've only been able to muster up 20 points in each game. So you've only scored 20, but you've given up a lot of points. So I'm really curious. I love Ron John as a coach. He's going to get the troops ready. I just think it's going to be chipping away, and I think these guys still have a lot to prove. I just hope they stay hungry and keep after it.
Yeah, I was going to say Salem as well, but my secondary I'll fall to is Wellsville. Wellsville, not the Wellsville team I expected on Friday nights, as they got a little bit of a beating by Southern Local. Because after Wellsville's first week, I thought, wow, this is a nice little surprise for Tiger Country. And Southern was obviously pissed about something, probably that week 1 loss to Latonia, and they came back in a big way and beat their EOAC rivals. So Wellsville has the most to gain. Unfortunately for them, they face a team that I think is probably the favorite to win the EOAC this year in the United Golden Eagles because they are looking good. Brutus and the boys are looking flying high out in Eagle Country. So I'm interested to see what the Tigers can do because this would be a huge feather in their cap if they're able to walk away with a week 3 win against United. So
I'm gonna say LeBray High School.
Okay.
LeBray plays Crestview this week, coming off of a big win and a dominating performance. But they lost a game that not a lot of people thought Brookfield was going to beat that. Talent-wise, that's why we play the games, of course. But talent-wise, they have a lot of talent. And going into the season on a normal year, this was a year that they thought they would make a run at the playoffs. So I expect them to figure it out, kind of, and that might be one of those keep your eyes on games, the Crestview and LeBray game this week.
I mean, there are so many good games, and we have 26 of them, Paul, on Friday night as it stands right now.
Yeah, give or take 25, 26.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
The yellow.
What are we missing right now? That's the
What
question.
are we missing? Liberty and Champion.
Oh, Liberty and Champion. Okay. So, but Billy Mack, you also had a interesting breaking news story. If you wanted to, I'll give you the boss. Hang on. Here we go. Whammy. Go ahead.
Oh, for me, yeah. I moved some things around with Max Baseball, so I'm going to be around and available to do some broadcasting for the YSN team for Friday and Saturday nights. Whether it's audible call, whether it's broadcasting, a member of the squad.
Look at this. The excitement on this guy, the birthday boy's face.
I know where I'm sending you. You and Betos are going to Champion.
Champion.
You get to see the Leopards and the Flashes. You and Betos.
That, and I'll be honest with you, that's probably not going to be a bad game. That's going to be a good game. So as long as you could get to Champion by 7 o'clock, you're good. Betos is setting up all by himself. Dear God, help us. Oh boy!
God,
all right.
where's this plug go? I don't understand why this plug's not going in. I don't see anything on the screen.
Which button do I push for the camera?
Brian, why isn't the camera working?
Oh, we miss you, Jeff. We love you. We miss you. And when we come back, we will have Yankee Update with Jeff Betos. I know Jamie Thompson's favorite hour of the broadcast. And we will also, maybe it might just take us the rest of the way, just because it's that exciting, because they're getting spanked. So we will have that.
Playoffs.
As well as we will talk about tonight on YSN. We
Playoffs.
will introduce you
talking about
to our Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley from Week 1. Our champions are going to be announced and breaking right here on the YSN Power Hour. We'll also talk about over the weekend in
just
tennis.
Get ready to leave already.
Yeah,
My back started to hurt. I had to sit up.
Oh my gosh, this is a shit show. All right, we'll be back right after this on the YSN Power Hour.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms. It just tastes better.
Hey, welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. We've got Billy McCartney, Quinn Pushkar, Ty Bartell, the birthday boy himself, Paul Munson, Eric Bailey, Anthony Malone, and Jamie Thompson. We did have Tristan for a little bit, but he was on the road, and unfortunately it's not always great circumstances with Wi-Fi out there, so you kind of roll the dice. Want to thank our sponsors, our proud sponsors, who are kind of invisible at the bottom of the screen today. What's the matter?
They're missing Q. There he is. Q decided to join us again.
He had a potty break. He had to go use the restroom, Paul. It happens to the best of us. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors who a little bit invisible today. We're working on a better way to get them out there and rebranded here on YSN Power Hour. Of course, G. Burbick Farms. We will have the What's Your Beef segment coming up at the end of the show. Joe Dickey Electric, as well as Baird Brothers. You can see there, and then we'll flip through. Clientele, also one of our sponsors. We got some new sponsors coming on board this week, so we're excited for that, as well as for more fans here in Week 3 of football. And again, if you want any of our games, we will debut them on Wednesday all the games that we will have from pillar to post. Right now we have 25, landing 26 later on today, and you can buy each and every one of them or just one at a time at $9.99. You can also utilize our just what I think is an award-winning broadcast with the Audible Call with Mike Ackelson and Nick Zeronis each and every Friday from 7 to 10 right here on YSN Live. Guys,
What is wrong with these two over here?
What?
Nothing.
Exactly. You didn't see them like they're exploding over there. Like they got some kind of inside joke going on. They're like.
Before we get to any other, listen, Switka's. Somebody gave Switka my phone number.
Me and putt. What do you do? He didn't talk about when he lost by a touchdown to me in putt the first time. So shut up, Robert.
Did you try the hot sauce?
Yeah, I did. It's actually really good.
It's very good.
It's very
good. Roasted is where it's at. And if you have not tried or connected with Roasted on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, wherever you can find it, bunch of Youngstown boys that are doing big things outside of the area. They all came back, collabed on this new hot sauce brand. It is delicious. Pineapple is the best. And I haven't even tried some of the other ones. We're going to do a group sesh here, and we're going to try the new hot sauces. But I cracked open pineapple because I needed it for pizza. I needed something else.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was absolutely awesome.
Those pizza and cookies. How were those cookies?
Cookies are phenomenal. They are. And
Rachel.
You're
even better that you don't have any.
Yeah, you're super lucky that she kept you one because you are not getting any. These won't last till Friday. These might not last till tomorrow.
I told her that. I was like, they're not going to get to Wednesday.
So if you guys want cookies, we know Paul's not going to make it down. Make sure you make your way through HQ and we'll hand out the cookies like I'm the Cookie Monster here. But they're awesome. They're absolutely fantastic. It's Cookie. I'm sorry. It's
Cookie Creations by Rachel. Yeah.
So shout out to her for these awesome cookies. They are phenomenal. And there she is. If Betos doesn't get a cookie, you're all in big trouble.
Sons of bitches! I didn't get it. Hold on. Sons of bitches! I didn't get a cookie. Where's my cookie?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I mean, these cookies are, and he will not touch them because that's not how we roll. I'll have to order more. Guys, when you look at, was it Novak Djokovic over the weekend? Did anybody catch those shenanigans? I thought I was not laughing at the ball girl line judge? Whatever.
Line judge.
The woman.
Yeah, I was not laughing at the situation with the line judge. I was laughing at if that happened to anybody, even myself, I would have died laughing. Like just giggled until I peed myself. It was hilarious. Cost him basically a shot at what Quinn said, a lot of money, but for my pretty damn good tennis player, and he cost himself a shot at another championship. Is this rule kind of bunk? I mean, what's your thoughts on Captain Baird Brothers? Oh, I see what you did. You're shouting out my spawn. Oh, Billy Mack. Come on, boy.
I also coached the Baird Brothers, so I get to put the Baird Brothers thing up.
And then?
That was it.
Okay. Did you see the tennis thing?
No. That was the first one. That was the first I've heard about it.
Quinn, did you see it?
I did.
Did you want to chime in on this?
Took it right off the neck area, I guess.
The throat.
Straight off the throat. Like, good. I mean, good for her. She took basically a screamer right off the throat. So
it reminded me of Mr. Deeds.
Yep.
When he served it over and hit the throat, he's like, "Does that count as a point for me?" Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else want to chime in on this? This doesn't look like a story that people want to dive in on. Sorry.
I mean, it sucked for him because he misses out on another major. But I mean, the thing is the rules are clear about that. He was trying the best he could to say, listen, don't you give me a warning? Take a point. Take something like that. And they, and I'll credit the tennis association. They don't care if it's the number one guy in the world or one of us schlubs in the tournament. You do something like that, you're not supposed to do it. And if you watched earlier in that match, he had swatted a ball into the side of the court because he was pissed about losing a point. And so all of a sudden he does that, just not paying attention, and whacked the ball backwards and just nailed that lady. And she went down like a brick too. Like she got hit and she was just like, it was like, holy crap, you know? I mean, not saying it wouldn't hurt to get hit in the throat with a tennis ball, but I mean, this lady acted like
Can you
somebody.
do that again? Hang on, wait. Now do it.
She got hit. She's like, right out, man. She was done. And he was all apologetic. But again, though, he kind of acted a little childish too, because he said his goodbyes and stuff, but then literally got in his car and was gone. Didn't address the media. He sent out a Twitter apology. I mean, it was kind of like, at least sit there and go, hey, listen, I screwed up. It's the rules. I'm sorry. And move on from it. Instead, like, he took off, and like they're all sitting there going, well, is he going to talk about this? And then he sends out a tweet, and it was like, sorry for what happened. I apologize. My bad. And it's like, oh God, whatever. But I mean, what else do we have to talk about? A lot of times, you've got that. And I was like, wow. I mean, I don't know.
I think that's the other thing about tennis, though. I mean, like, that's the biggest news about a tournament going on in tennis right now. I mean, I'm not trying to dog tennis by any means, but when you get right down to it, I mean, like, if that's the biggest story, is that disqualification is kind of it's kind of tough in this year for that tournament, especially when your number one guy's already out for the remainder of the tournament. Now you have to worry about what's the biggest story next for it.
Yeah, because they said with him being out and the number two guy got knocked out, they said this would be the first time since like 2008 or 2009 that somebody like not him, Roger Federer, or like the other top guy have not won a major tournament like this. So like you're gonna get a I don't want to say a mediocre person, but like somebody who's not one of the top 5 guys in the world to get a chance to win. So, good for them. Yeah, I mean, it's him getting disqualified, and then like Serena winning her 100th game at So, look at promos.
I'm already getting text messages about how do I get that mug. YSN mugs are available in red and blue, and they're $12 a piece. So come on and get your mug. You're allowed back in society, people. Come on down to YSN. Check out our brand new studio. Check out the office and what we call YSN World Headquarters. Grab yourself a mug, a T-shirt, and I think we're out of hats, but we're working on getting more every day. And Jamie, you son of a basket. Well played. Anybody else got?
You missed Jeff so much, Q. You freaking stuck me with.
I stuck him with Bill this time too. So
we got gift cards. All right.
He goes, hey, just come do a game with me, man. Just come do a game with me.
yeah, you were going to, and then Eric came back, so I'd rather be with Eric.
I mean, I don't have to do anything. You guys can be together.
You can go with
I'll go down to HQ and hang out.
Champion, Liberty, wherever we're going. Most entertaining.
All I'm trying to do is have a couple pieces of pizza whenever I come back to HQ. But
you guys can switch. Quinn and EB. You guys are going to Camel.
I like Camel.
Crisscross guys.
I like Camel.
I didn't get that text message.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't. I'll send it to Jenny then. Don't worry about it. She'll respond.
Jenny on the line.
I heard it's a paint shop up in Akron.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We got inside we do want to give a hearty congratulations to the Week 1 Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. Lydia Wilson of Heartland Christian with over 2,000 votes takes it home on the girls' side. And surprise, surprise, Clayton Medvec with his 52-yard field goal in Week 1 takes home the boys' side of the Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. Brought to you, of course, by our good friends at Baird Brothers. Guys, with that said, that's an impressive turnout. Over 6,000 fans voting in Week 1. That's pretty cool to see, and we're so happy that Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley's back. Our new candidates will be released tonight, so make sure that you're watching this week for next week's nominations, and make sure you vote as many times as humanly possible because these kids love your support, and surely Baird Brothers loves to be able to showcase these kids as well, do what they do, and apparently we can sell our Brady boxes now because Quinn's up for sale.
I'm in.
Incredible. Thanks. Nice job. And somebody's clicking. Somebody's doing something right now. Because I hear it.
Quinn.
Not me.
No, it's Munson. It's got to be.
Damn it. Oh, it stopped. Miracle.
No, I don't know who it is. Everybody goes hand check on it.
It can't be me. I'm on my phone, so you'd see if my phone would go black if it was me.
Switka's saying, put Quinn in camp.
Listen here, Rob. You better chime in about your little short holes experiment too.
Quinn is in Camel, Robert.
You wanna explain that one, Quincy?
Yeah, he got his ass kicked in short holes on Sunday morning, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
want
you might want to elaborate when you're saying ass
He
kick.
shot 19 over on short holes.
Like, just, you want to talk about short holes?
Yeah, chiming in.
Hey, Quinn, what do you got there?
Yeah, my first Mountain Dew, and it's quite good actually.
Yeah.
This is
Really good.
Shakes. He had to stop the shake.
Hey, Poe drank all the other drinks. There's nothing left.
Who did?
There's a-
Poe.
Oh, Poe. I thought you said Paul did. I'm like, what?
No, not you.
So if I go in right now, if I take my computer into our refrigerator and there's more than Mountain Dew, what are you gonna say?
I am not drinking that sparkling water stuff. No.
There's iced tea in there.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Where?
I was just there yesterday. There's like a 6-pack in there.
I didn't see it.
It's on the left-hand side.
Hold on. I'll be back.
There you go, iced tea.
Boy.
Live on the move.
Green tea? I don't drink green tea.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Green
Yeah.
tea.
There's green tea.
Iced tea.
Green tea, Paul. That's green tea. I don't drink green tea. I don't drink Natty Light.
Those
Drink
are
it,
Natter
too.
days.
Whatever.
There's Gatorade.
Yeah. Red Gatorade.
I don't like red. Nobody
Free
likes
plug.
I like the fruit punch ones.
I'm not a fan.
There we go. We got
I'm not drinking Bang
we got
either.
V8
That
and we
amped me
got
up too much.
Bang. So
Bang amped me up too much last time. That's how you get
Just
a
saying.
alcohol. I ain't drinking that.
just saying.
And I'm not drinking sparkling water.
And there's regular water in the Brita filter. So Captain,
That's what that is?
what would you put in a Brita filter, Quinn?
I don't know. I don't know what's in that. I don't know if I want to drink Palestine
Look,
water.
Gas
we are
station
officially
vodka.
derailed. I can't hear
Ty's
anybody.
like, oh
So
my
this
God,
is
I can't even watch this anymore.
But
I don't think I want to drink Palestine water.
put you back in the nook.
So I drank one. Mountain Dew.
I can't hear anybody. So we will go to quickly. Yeah, Carrie said there's pizza. There is pizza.
Very
Thanks
good.
to Carrie and to Bellaria for the pizza. And I still can't hear. Check.
Yep.
Oh well. We'll take a quick break while I readjust my computer because it's completely shot. And then when we come back, it'll be the G. Bourbon Farms What's Your Beef. Be back in just a moment, right after this.
What do you do? He can't hear us.
Nope.
Okay.
I said everybody should go quiet and just like.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Today in the showers, I'm keeping my eye on in parts of Columbiana County.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
All right, I'm back. I can hear everybody, I think. As long as we don't want to, I don't know. Do we have a mic check?
Yeah, we're all good.
Mike.
Nope, still can't hear anybody. All right, great. This is going to be fun. We'll do, did everybody mute themselves? Are you playing a game right now?
No.
Oh, should have. We should have. That would have been funny.
This sucks. This is terrible.
Good job,
We will
Quinn.
start with,
You're gonna
while
talk
I
about
try
it.
to cater to this, we will start with the, Carrie, thanks. This is awesome. This is still better than the fantasy draft. Appreciate it. This is
Hey, Quinn,
All right,
tell
he's
him I'm
officially
going to do
out.
the Yankee update.
officially out.
DJ, he's doing the Yankee update.
I can't hear you. I can hear you yelling from the back, Quinn. That's all I can hear. So we'll go through the G Burby Farms. What's your beef? Let's start with Jamie and what? What, birthday boy?
I got the Yankee update. Tell him, Quinn. So, Yankees are 6.5 back, Jamie. 6.5 back. They're in 8th place in the playoffs.
Yankee update.
Hey, they're not playing good baseball right now.
There he is.
Hi, how you doing, DJ? How's it going?
Yankee update for you. 6.5 back of the Tampa Bay Rays, sitting in 8th place in the playoffs right now. If the playoffs happen today, they'd be playing the Rays in the first round because they are the number 1 seed, and they're 1 game over 500. They're 21-20. Yeah, Betos, you're going to be coughing up some green bills, baby, because they are garbage, hot garbage right now.
And they're
probably not
cheaters.
gonna make the playoffs.
Billy, if they were in first place, you'd be all over them like squirrels on nuts.
Not the Yankees. That's not the Yankees.
Is that where you draw the line of being
The
a front
Yankees.
runner? Is the Yankees?
Yes.
Nice.
And the Cowboys.
It's like just saying you don't like Jamie Thompson.
Yeah, he's like,
Apparently, Billy Mack's got a problem with me. I don't even know what I did to him.
Probably complaining about pullovers.
Was it the pullovers or was it because I put the U down last week? Maybe that was it.
That might be it. All right. Did we start the beef yet?
No, go
No,
ahead.
we're going over the Yankee report.
All right. Jamie, go ahead.
All right. Well, I guess I can go with people hating on the Yankees right now. I mean, as easy as it is to do, they are 5-14 in their last 19. It's the worst stretch they've had since the end of the season in 2000. Not playing good baseball right now, but look at the injuries, man. I mean, we're banged up, and I hate to be a Jeff Bezos, but all you got to do is make the playoffs. Just be one of those 8 teams.
Paul, do you have something to say about that?
No, he's just like, we're banged up. We're banged up. No. They stink.
It sounds like a Portland Trailblazer fan. We just got to get in.
Anthony Malone, go for it.
A young kid.
I got to give a positive beef. If I'm going to do any beef, Shane Bieber. I mean, playing 10K a game, you know, every outing. So I dig the way he's playing. I know it's a 60-game season, but I'm positive beef in my respects.
$50 per show, huh? Well, it better be a good response here.
My beef is actually Jamie's fan because it makes it look like he has one of those hats with the spinner on top.
All right, we talked about this already. That was like last week, EB.
Hey, look, man, I was out of town. Sorry, bud.
Should have been tuning in. Where's your loyalty? Where's your loyalty like Billy Mack?
Birthday boy.
Mine actually is just some happy beef because I'm glad that somebody else has tech problems besides myself, and it's the one and only over there that you know. Finally, it's not me having the problems, and I get shit on for it. So,
Can you say shit to school?
yeah, it's after school. It don't matter.
Okay. He's running on that good Wi-Fi today.
Ty, go ahead.
I don't know. I think my beef has to sit with Billy Mack after talking all that smack Friday about Ursuline and what was going to happen with that Ursuline Fitch game. I think you got some crow to eat today, Billy.
Pick Fitch, though.
But who did I pick?
I don't know, Billy. I don't know who you picked. You were going back and forth the whole thing. I think you said Fitch like 3 times. I think you said Ursuline 3.
To win that game. Paul has it.
Hey, all I know is that Richie and I tied for first. So, 23 correct picks, boys.
Why don't you write that down in your notebook, Paul?
It's right here.
I think he's screwed with it because nobody can read that picture.
True that.
It's pretty odd that the guy that runs the thing is in first right
Jamie
now.
asked for it, and he got it.
Yeah,
I
Jamie
did.
doesn't understand it.
Go ahead.
Oh, mine. My beef's with Paul. Lakers won. Rockets stink. Next.
One game. It's a 1-1.
He said that against the Blazers too. Said the same thing last series.
Okay, well, we'll see how Superstar does.
I'll wait for you to say it again in the next series in the Eastern Conference Finals when the Clippers win Game 1. Whatever.
We'll see when the Superstar decides to show up. Instead of showing up every game like the GOAT did, baby. Every game he showed up.
Billy, you want to go next or last?
Yeah, I can go now.
Okay, go
My
ahead.
beef is with Paul thinking he's slick putting me with Jeff Bezos. Not only are we going to kick ass on Friday night, we're going to be the most entertaining group of everybody. Challenge. And then just bring it.
Challenge accepted.
There we go. I like it.
Jamie.
Challenge accept. My God, what are you doing?
This is the Bailey.
Jamie, you got
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? My beef. Here's the latest way to put this. If you order a steak from a restaurant, don't eat the whole steak and send it back to the kitchen. So if you're utilizing a refund policy or something along those lines, do it after. If you cut the steak open and see it's not the way you like it, then ask to send it back to the kitchen. Don't wait to eat the entire steak and say it wasn't cooked to your liking. So that is my beef, and you can read between the lines if you'd like. But that's where I'm at. I don't mind giving a refund if it's not living up to expectations or it's not living up to what we promised. But please don't be that person that 2 minutes after the game decides that you need money back for something that it didn't reach your expectations. That's just not fair. It's just not. That is just not good manners, and it's not. What's it called? I'm looking for it. It's not ethical, is where I'm at. So if you don't like our product, that's fine. You don't ever have to buy it again. We don't beg. We're providing a service to which schools are utilizing us to get some revenue, which otherwise wouldn't be happening. We're not going to shy away from who we are, and like I put on social media yesterday, we're going to fall forward. We're going to fail. We're going to fail again, and then we're going to dust ourselves off, and we're going to win. We're going to succeed. So if you're on board with us, jump on board, stay on board, be patient. We will deliver, baby. That's what we do. We are the YSN. So that's going to do it for our show today. I have to literally go over to the other room to turn it off. But thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we will catch you tomorrow from 3 to 4 right here on the YSN Power Hour. See ya.
Now it's like Mr. Rogers. You get to watch him put his shoes back on, take off his sweater, and wave.
Yeah, and the Yankees still